that we get into our body and we feel it moving. We feel the hands touching the ground, you know, the arms lifting through the air, like the breath moving with it, whatever it is, that we're very, very present in it. With self-massage is saying that we're actually like really feeling where we're tapping, or feeling the touch of our hands into the muscles, the level of pressure, and that we're doing that with an enormous amount of self-care. It's a very powerful thing to massage your own body, to meet your own body with tenderness, not something that we tend to do very often in our culture, or when we come from trauma, we tend to have a negative view of our bodies, a negative relationship to them, and that is all of the, you know, trauma-induced toxic shame and low self-esteem, that belief that we internalized when we were very little, that there must be something wrong with me. I don't think I mentioned that even in the introductory video. I must have been meant to mention it now, but you know, that's what happens when we're little. When adults around us are not capable of meeting our needs for their own reasons, whatever they may be, an infant or a child does not have the cognitive capacity to lie there, to sit there and think, oh, it's nothing to do with me. Mum's just stressed because she's having a difficult time with dad, or she's processing, you know, ongoing low self-esteem and anxiety that was born when she was a child because her parents weren't able to nurture her properly, or, you know, there's nothing wrong with me. Dad's just disassociative and emotionally absent because he also experienced trauma as a child and he's stressed by work and worried by financial strain. Children have no cognitive capacity to do that. We're born narcissistic and we're meant to be. It is not wrong. We cannot see outside of ourselves as children. We don't have the cognitive ability to understand that things are not about us. It's not that there's anything wrong with us, that we are unwanted or unlovable in any way, but we internalize the belief that we are, because there is no other way for us to experience it. No matter how much we were loved, if our parents' attention was not placed properly, if they were absent, distracted by their own issues, tensions, traumas, stresses, and it's not about ever, it's not, no one needs perfect parents. It's about, you know, that a good portion of the time that they were truly present and attuned to us, allowed us to feel fully, be as we were. You know, if they weren't able to do that, we internalize the belief that there must be something wrong with us. We don't comprehend that there might be something wrong with them and the way that they're handling themselves, or the way that they're handling us, or our emotions, or their emotions, or each other, or life. We cannot comprehend it. So we internalize a very deep-seated sense of shame, toxic, pervasive shame, based on the belief that there must be something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And that then just literally toxifies our life, pervades our existence in every way. And one of the most common ways that it impacts us is that it sort of turns outward onto our relationship to our bodies. That self-loathing, that belief that there is something wrong with us, will become about our bodies, because we have to find a place to fixate it. We have to find a place to put it. It's about my body. I'm this, I'm that, I'm not enough of this, or I'm too much of that. That's something that also happens a lot with trauma. This sense of trauma is really about feeling not enough and too much all the time simultaneously, because that's exactly what happened with most of our parents. We internalized the sense there was something wrong with us, brackets, that we aren't enough, because we didn't understand that the issues were theirs, not ours. And yet we simultaneously felt too much, because we intuitively felt that they couldn't handle us in our fullness. And so we go through life with both. And we're neither. So self-touch is a lot about self-reclamation. It's a very powerful thing to do. And of course, it actually does work into muscle groups that tend to hold the larger portion of our tensions, and self-massage works into the muscles, sometimes in a way that stretching type movement can't. So yeah, I'm not going to go into talking about fascia. So when we're moving and working with the body, I just want to say it for this point, like, we're not only working with the muscle tissue, we're also working with we're working with the body in its entirety, there are different layers of tissue in the body. For example, the fascia, which is like a net that exists over all of the muscle tissue. It comes from the tendons that can sort of contract, and fascia holds memory, emotional memory, psychological memory, physical memory from things that happen to us, and so it can hold, sort of create pockets, areas of learned tension in the system. And when we learn to move our body in different ways and to work into the body, not just stiff, rigid kind of tension, but stretching, but more fluid types of movement as well, then we begin to sort of open the body and stretch, not just open out slowly, not just individual muscles and muscle groups, but actually in a way the entire system that can be riddled with tension. And we learn to move in ways where we understand that the tensions are not disconnected from one another, that the tension that you feel down in your calf is connected to the tension in your upper right shoulder blade, that there is, the body is contained, by this net of fascia that holds the tension memories, tension-based memory, trauma-based memory. And so through massage, through different types of holding position, through different types of movement, we're beginning to open the body on many different levels, in different ways, physiologically, emotionally, energetically, psychologically. We're opening, expanding, right? And that has untold impact over time.